Hi, and welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I am an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki healer and an overall lightworker. And before we dive into today's episode, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos to please hit the subscribe button over there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please comment down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. All right, let's get to the meat of the video. Now, this is a very interesting topic. And if you have been my friend or my follower or my viewer, my subscriber for a while, you know that I've been outspoken about this in one or two videos of mine. I don't know if I can find it, but if I can, I'll leave it linked up here or down there. But this is actually on the topic of healing. Now, inasmuch as we should be gentle with ourselves, y'all know that I particularly hate it when healing becomes a crutch. You know, when healing becomes a crutch, when we mistake healing for a way of living in a negative way. While it's true that we do heal ourselves every day, it's not supposed to be the excuse as to why we cannot accomplish things. It's not supposed to be the excuse as to why we can't push ourselves in a good way, you know? It's not supposed to be the excuse as to why we're not going to start anything, or why we're not going for something, or why we're not making a better life for ourselves in most cases, right? And so this was actually preempted by that, because the real point that I wanted to drive today is that a lot of people think that healing is a one-time, big-time thing, when in fact it's something that we do on a daily basis. We heal every day. Our cells, our physical cells, die every day, and we heal them on a daily basis as well. We regenerate new cells every day, and we heal the ones that need to be healed also on a daily basis. So why do we feel that a one-time, big-time kind of healing will be the solution to a lot of the problems that we have? The actual solution is really in the maintenance. It lies in the maintenance. In a similar way that maintenance pills help us to, again, maintain whatever it is that we need to stay balanced, we need to maintain our bodies as well. We need to maintain our physical body on a daily basis. We need to maintain our mental body on a daily basis. We need to maintain our emotional and spiritual bodies on a daily basis. And we do this with various things. We do this in various ways, you know? So I oftentimes actually get people who ask me, these are newbies, you know, people who have not really dove into any sort of spirituality. I get the question a lot, or rather, I get this question a lot. If I do this, will I be healed completely? You know, will I be healed completely, let's say, for example, from a heartbreak? Will I be healed completely from this kind of illness? Will I be healed completely from, like, my dissatisfaction with myself, you know? And they have the notion, they have the idea that this, like, healing is that one-time, big-time thing that happens, and all of a sudden they're good, you know? But in reality, that's not really the case, you know? So what happens is, let's say, for example, me, a Reiki healer, performs Reiki on you, and you have a specific concern. Let's say, for example, that you always find yourself in debt, and we had Reiki for debt, right? We performed Reiki for debt, or for money, basically. In the beginning, you might find yourself completely healed, or completely, completely experiencing different kinds of experiences from what you did from the past. But if you decide to go back to the old ways, if you decide to do what you used to do, well, there's a large chance that the pattern is going to repeat, that you're going to lose money again, you know? Let me give you a more perfect example, or more like practical, more kind of easier to understand example. I have a friend who is a football player. She plays soccer, basically, football. So in the past, she's had an ACL. ACL is usually one of the most common injuries that football players have. I think, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, it affects the knee, right? Like it's a tear in the knee, if I'm not mistaken. So that happened to her. Of course, she had to go through surgery. She had to go through rehab, and after that, she started to play again. But the thing was, she didn't really change the way that she was playing, like her technique. She didn't change it. It was as if the ACL never happened. And guess what? She had a second ACL on the same leg, you guys. And she had a surgery on the same leg. So she's had 2 surgeries on the same leg, 2 ACLs on the same leg, and she's done rehab for the same leg until she finally changed the way that she was playing. She became more mindful of the fact that she already had 2 ACLs. And of course, after that, she continued on to play with no ACLs. And that's the point that I wanted to drive, you know? Again, first and foremost, we do not use healing as an excuse for any type of thing, you know? In as much as we want to be gentle with ourselves and we want to be kind to ourselves, it's actually doing us more damage if we use healing as an excuse, because we never started, you know? We never started. That's the thing. It hinders us from actually starting the healing process whenever we use it as an excuse, all right? But at the same time, second of all, healing happens every day. It happens on a physical level. It happens on an emotional level. It happens on a mental level. And the way you really address this is not by one-time, big-time healing things, you know? Yes, you can use Reiki to jumpstart it, and which is what I do, actually, when it comes to my clients. I will always jumpstart the process, but the maintenance, which is number 3, the maintenance always has to come from you. In order for you to be completely healed from something, you want to maintain it that way. You know, you want to maintain it that way. I always give the classic example of if you want to stay dry, you won't go back in the water. You know, if you want to stay dry, you won't go back in the water. In the same way that if you want to be healed from something, you don't repeat the things that you did in the past, right? You don't go back to it in the past. And a one-time, big-time healing thing is not going to solve it. If you keep going back to it, you know, going back and forth to it, going back and forth to it, in the same way that my friend did with her ACL. She didn't change the way that she was playing, and so she got a second ACL and a second surgery and rehabilitation again, which was painful. And it really compromised the way that she was playing until she realized that, hey, the only way to do it, the only way to do what I love, the only way to succeed in what I love is to actually change the route, change the way that I'm doing it, and actually maintain the safety when it comes to playing, you know? So have that in mind as well. Just because you visit a healer in the same way that you visit a doctor, right? Every doctor will tell you that after you've recovered from something, you need to maintain it that way. It is the same way emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And this takes effort. This takes time. It takes attention to yourself. In the beginning, perhaps that's when it takes the most effort, but when it becomes a lifestyle, then it's not going to take a lot of effort at all. But it still stands that you need to maintain it. All right? So this actually sounds very preachy, to be honest, But I notice that a lot of people are actually asking about this as well, that sometimes they go to healers or they go to like um, even doctors. Sometimes I've had clients with that. They go to doctors and the problem still persists. The healing is a two-way street. It's not just like me, for example, giving Reiki to you and it's all done, right? Again, we just jumpstart the process. But the actual healing comes from you. So allow yourself to explore the ways that you can maintain that you can maintain good healing. Because when you get to the point when you maintain healing every day, then it's not called healing anymore. It's called balance. And that's what you really want to attain with spirituality. Balance in everything. So balanced, so grounded that you become unfuckwithable. That you become someone who can't be thrown off by virtually anything. And that is the coolest thing that you can be for yourself, to be honest, at least in my book, right? So I hope this helps. I hope this was interesting. It was very interesting for me to do. It was a very interesting video for me to shoot. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please do comment down below. If you would like to receive notifications of my new videos, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course. Here are the details. And that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy, maintain the healthiness in all of your bodies, and create balance in your life. All right? And yeah, that's it. Ciao for now, guys.